Hi guys, welcome back to Rumi's Life, or welcome if you're new. And today I'll be telling you guys about my 9 jobs that I have as a full-time college student majoring in mathematics and a finance minor as well as Chinese. So yeah, it's definitely not easy. I'm not saying it's easy at all, but because I have 3 business classes, 2 math classes, and a Chinese class totaling up to 19 credit hours, so it's definitely hard. But these are my 9 jobs and how I got them. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe, because next week I'm going to be telling you guys how I survive. This is just a little overview about what my 9 jobs are, so you have a little bit more background. But yeah, I'm going to be posting every Sunday from now on, so hit that subscribe button. So right now, most of my income actually comes from the student recreational sports center job that I have, working as a group exercise leader. And at first, before I got hired, we had to go through a 4-week training process. So it's basically 2-hour practical, 2-hour lecture every week, as well as 1 hour of shadowing and 1 hour of doing homework and doing pre-leading homework. But because of this training, we started off at more than $14 an hour, and my whole thing is work smarter, not harder. So by working a higher paying job for a lower amount, you can still generate a lot of income and facilitate that growth in income. So I really like that about my job right now. And I also love the fact that I get to share my love for exercise with more people, especially people who are just novice learners, just starting to work out. So I really like that aspect about my job. And also I get to just work out and get paid. So obviously I love that. And I definitely feel like I'm out of breath after my sessions, just because you have to talk and work out at the same time. So that's one of my biggest advice I have for you guys, is to try to get a certification, because then obviously you're gonna be paid more, but you don't have to work as hard. You don't have to work as many hours to get the same amount as people who work the standard jobs. So it's definitely worth it. I know a lot of my friends are lifeguards, and they make a lot of money as well. And just having some kind of specialty, just having a certification to prove that you have a a special skill, is a really crucial part in succeeding. So right now I do the group exercise classes on Tuesdays for an hour-ish, and then Thursday for 2 hours-ish. And I'm allowed to clock in for prep, which is where we just log hours for preparing for our classes, and you can log up to however many hours you teach. So for example, for me, I get to prep for up to 3 hours. But because I sub a lot of classes per week, and there's always special events, for example, this weekend was the color run, I had to prep for the color run and just get paid my normal over $17 an hour job, and still get paid to do that, which was really amazing. And I freaking love that about my job. And for example, if there's an event for teach people how to work out, that's also an extra hours I can just collect and accumulate. So I really like that. In total, on average, I have about 6 hours from group exercise. But because you get paid for meetings, you get paid for just special events, I think it just turns out to be about I don't know, 10-ish hours per week. So other than getting paid for meetings, risk and management meetings, as well as just our monthly meetings and trainings, we also get paid to learn new styles. For example, right now I'm learning step, so that's an extra an hour and a half per week that I can just collect for learning a new exercise, which is amazing, because I feel you just don't get that opportunity anywhere else. Right now I'm able to lead strength classes, but I'm also able to lead deep water classes, and all that training after the initial 4 weeks we're all paid for. So I'm wow, I became a dance fitness instructor through my work, and they paid me to do it too. And just that experience of teaching, just the experience of learning, I can utilize outside of my current job right now. So I think that's just such a beneficial opportunity, and I'm just so thankful for that. My second job is I work as a TA for finite mathematics, because my Calc 3 professor from last semester is actually a director and a coordinator. So she highly recommended me. She really liked me a lot, so she basically got me this job. It's $15 an hour, so I have to go into all my professor's classes. So that's 3 hours per week. And on top of that, I have my own tutoring hours for 4 hours on Thursdays. So that adds up to about like 7 hours a week. And like if I really wanted to, they said I can prep too for that class as well, but like I don't. So that's about like 7 hours a week. My third job on campus is I actually work for my Chinese program, the Chinese major I was talking about. I'm part of this program, so like they have like promotional events, or I also run their social media account. So whenever I go to an event, I can count it for my extra credit for my Chinese class, count it for my activity hours for my program, and I can also get paid because I get to post on social media. And they're like, oh, if you ever have like, whenever you contact us or about jobs, or like whenever I edit the pictures and select the pictures and like post the pictures, I can count all that hours. But usually it ends up being about like an hour a week. So my fourth job is that I actually teach dance, or I teach acro and tumbling at a dance studio on Mondays. So that's like 3.5 hours for $20 an hour. Again, going with the theme of like working smart, not harder. And I feel like I get to like pass my knowledge of like acro and tumbling down to like the next generation, which is a really satisfying feeling to have. Like, the most common question I get working 9 jobs is like, aren't you like, when's your fun time? But teaching and like just like doing everything I do just gives me so much joy. Like, this is my fun time. Like, I wouldn't want to spend my fun time anywhere else. Like, and I just get paid. Like, that's just like a little nice bonus on the side. But like, even if I wasn't getting paid, I would still do everything that I'm doing, just because like it's just so much fun. I don't know, it just gives me so much joy. So everything so far has been like what I do on weekdays. On the weekends, I judge gymnastic competitions. So that's job number 5, is that I judge gymnastic competitions for the Junior Olympics program. So usually what happens is like we have to go out of town, but like the thing is, everything is paid for. For example, if you go out of town, like you get 58 cents for every mile you drive. So like going back and forth from like a place that's an like hour away, that's already like $70 right there. And you still get all your food paid for, you get your hotels paid for. So like it kind of feels like a mini vacation, because like you get to sleep in a hotel and you get to meet really cool people that you normally wouldn't if you stayed on campus all weekend. So I really like that as well. And like that's like, that job is like 26 an hour. Like, you really can't beat that as a college student. And I still have the potential to move up in pay raise in the near future, like maybe even next year, because like how that happens, how they determine it is like depending on like your experience and based on like your ability to pass exam. So, and like so far I haven't been like able to pass all the exams like first try, so like I'm feeling pretty good. I don't know. And again, like I get to travel, like I get to go to I get to represent Indiana at the National Judges Cup this year in California. So free flight, free hotel. So I get to get back to the sport that gave me so much. Like, it gave me so many valuable lessons I can still take on right now that still applies to my life today. And I get to facilitate that for the future gymnasts and future athletes. I think that's just like such a powerful feeling to have, to be in that position to like impact other people. And in addition, like there's like judging friends are so cool. Like, I could spend all weekend with them, no problem. And like sometimes it's only like a 1-day meet, but like 1-day competitions still give you like $300, or like 2-day competitions sometimes give you like $600. And like depending, the most I've ever made on a weekend it was a 3-day weekend meet, and I made like $1,000 in a weekend. Like, it's a pretty darn good gig, especially for a college student. So I'm very, very fortunate to have found this like job that really gives me a lot of like yeah. So job number 6 is actually like 3 little things combined together, because it doesn't happen very often, but I do a lot of independent contracting stuff. Like, based on my credibility, given I'm a Junior Olympics judge for women's gymnastics, it gives me a lot of like credibility to like go into gyms and consult their programs. For example, I have been like consulting gymnastic teams and seeing like what they need help on, where their like weaknesses are, to like help them get stronger for like right before regionals or right before season starts. And that's been like a lot of fun, because I get to actually go into gyms and talk to them and like, you know, interact with the girls and just see what their progress is, because like that's one of the aspects that I really miss about coaching, is that like I don't really get to like see the same athletes over and over, and I don't get to be there when they celebrate their like oh, I got the skill for the first time moment. But like consulting allows me to like get pretty close to that, as like I get to like see like firsthand like what they need and what I can like give them to help get the skill. So that gives me a lot of satisfaction doing that. Along with that, I actually also choreograph floor routines, and I actually choreograph dance competition routines as well. And those, like when you go in for the weekend, it doesn't take too long, but like before it you have to prep. But that's like easy, like $200-$300 right there per routine for choreographing floor routines or choreographing like dance competition routines. So, and that's not to say that I'm a master or professional. It's just that like I have a lot more knowledge now than I did when I first started, just because I've been doing like stuff to do with like physical fitness for such a long time. But I'm always going to like regional congresses. I'm always going to like state congress, going to clinics all throughout the year, just to like ensure my like education is up to par, because again, gymnastics is always evolving and you have to keep up with like the new technology, the new like conditioning, the new, you know, drills to make sure that girls can get their skills safely. And sometimes when I go for consulting, it's not just about like giving them a new workout or fixing skills or like helping them get a skill. It's also about like training their eyes to see what I see. Like when I see a certain skill, I'm looking for certain things. I know certain things are wrong, and just like it's about like training their eyes, like eyes of the coaches and eyes of the athletes to know what's right and what's wrong. And that's so they have the fundamentals needed to keep going forward without me, because I'm not going to be there every single week. Job number 7 is that I'm a private tutor for like mathematics, given my credentials as a math major. So I do everything from like finite all the way up to like Calc 2, sometimes Calc 3, but usually like Calc 2 is like where it stops, because like beyond Calc 2 is just like specialty people. It's like, for example, like comp sci physics and stuff like that. Like those are the only people that take like beyond Calc 3. I mean beyond Calc 2. But so I usually do like a lot of finite, like M11A, M119. But it used to be like every week, but now I toned it down to like just right before exams and right before like midterms, or just like whenever people need me. So it's not like a weekly thing anymore, but it's still like an extra $200-$300 per month. And the thing is, like I was never like that good at math, so then like compared to people who are like naturally gifted at math, I know like little like study strategies that like actually help, because I had to like actually study to become somewhat okay at math. So that's why I think like I have a little like advantage over like other people. And like honestly, you guys can do it too if you have like a subject that you're specifically good at. Like, so this actually started from like words of mouth. Like for example, like I was like okay at math, and like I told my friends that I was a math major, and basically she lived right next to me in my dorm, and I started tutoring her like whenever I was home. And she started telling her other friends, and then her other friends told other friends, and it just like grew bigger and bigger and bigger. So like I ended up tutoring like quite a lot of people back when I lived in dorms, and now like some of the other people like recommended other friends. And so it's like words of mouth. Like if you're good at what you do, then you're gonna get more opportunities like that. Once you get a big enough group, you don't even have to like tutor them like independently. You can just group them all together and tutor all of them at the same time, and just like answer all their questions at the same time, because then like you can still charge the same amount. So you can make double, triple, quadruple the regular amount by tutoring the same hours. So like that was like such a smart move for me, like lifesaver. Cut my hours by like a lot, but still made more exponentially like more. So, and like again, that's going back to like the same thing, like work smarter, not harder. So my 8th job is my passive incomes. And you're like, if it's a passive income, why are you counting it as your job? But like it actually kind of takes a lot of time to like figure out what makes the most money, and like what stocks make the most money, and like stuff like that. Like just like a lot of researching goes into passive income. So it's not really passive, to be honest. So what I do is like I have most of my money in a high interest savings account, and that compounds monthly. And so then like I count that like little interest as income as well, because like that's adding into what I make, and I still have to pay taxes on them. So, and also I also have like stocks. Oh, so if you ever want free stocks. There's links right below to get free Robinhood stocks. If you sign up using this link, I get a free stock, you get a free stock, so we all just like benefit from free stocks. And like obviously like those like sign up stocks don't have any like dividends, but like as you keep doing research, you understand that like there's stocks that pay like monthly dividends, quarterly dividends, you know, annual dividends. So then like you can make money this way through like capital gains. So it's like it's good stuff, okay? It's very, very good stuff. So that's like about like $50 a month. They're just like, you know, passive income. And my 9th job is like, it also is kind of passive and it doesn't happen very often, but I still count it as a job because it takes a lot of effort to get this established. But that is just using scholarships. And like if you applied like scholarship, like that obviously takes a lot of time to like write your essays, get your recommendation letters, and doing all the research. So there's actually like small local community scholarship that really doesn't go into your bursar accounts, or if they do, you can like ask them like, oh, if you put it into my bursar account, it actually lowers my financial aid or whatnot, and then you can actually get it sent directly to your bank accounts. So then like that way you can like use that money still for like, you know, academic purposes, like for example like books, or you know, like just like helping pay like living expenses still covers, like it's still part of their like scholarship, like little like stuff you can use money for. So like, you know, that's good stuff. So like that's like an extra like $1,000 a month. So that's it for this video. I'm definitely not saying it's easy. I definitely feel like right now I'm like drowning in work, but it's definitely worth it at the end because all my other friends are drowning in student loans and I get to be ahead of everybody else. So I feel really, really fortunate for all the opportunities given to me, and I hope you get some insight or some like something you can take out of this video that you can apply to your own life. Because like for example like the tutoring thing, everyone can tutor, everyone has a subject that they're at least somewhat good at, and like especially if you're a full-time college student, like on campus jobs, like there's a lot of jobs available on campus that you can take advantage of. So I hope you guys found some motivation, inspiration. But that's about the end of the video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Bye.